Good afternoon, class. Today is Thursday, April 30th, our last class in April. And we are going to get started with language arts this afternoon. Let's go. So our song for today is Endless Night, which is from Lion King. And you might not have actually heard this song before, even if you've watched both versions of the Lion King, the old one and the new one, because this song is actually part of the musical. So that's why it's part of my musical section and not the Disney section. It's a really good song, and what I love about this song, and I'm just going to tell you ahead of time, is that it's such a good example of mood change, of tone change. It starts off one way, and then it gradually uses language, and it uses different things like rhythm and key changes and stuff like that to convey a specific message and to change into something better. So I want you to listen to this song 2 times. The first time I want you to listen and I want you to try to highlight words you don't know. The second thing I want you to do during that first time you're listening to it is I want you to try to figure out, where does that tone change? What line do you think that tone changes? And I want you to put a line right in between those 2 stanzas. The second thing I want you to do is the second time you listen through the song, so after you've identified words you don't know, after you have found that point in the song where the tone changes, I want you to draw a picture of what you think is happening. Now, you can use the context you already know from The Lion King, or you can try to, if you haven't seen The Lion King, it's totally fine. Try to imagine as much as you can accurately about what's happening in this particular song. So once you've done that twice, come back here with me and we'll go through these questions together. So, number 1, when the singer says, "I know that the night must end and that the sun will rise," he is making an analogy between, so remember, analogy is just a fancy word for comparison. So whenever you see that word analogy, write down comparison. It's just like main idea, what is the text mostly about? Got so excited with my snapping, I forgot what word I was going to say. So A, how cold it is during the night and how warm it is during the day. B, how his feelings of sadness and confusion will eventually just end like the night will end. C, how uneasy he is when his father was guiding him and now free he is that he's on his own. Or D, how the time in which the sun rises is unclear, just like his future. So take a second. I want you to try to pick the best answer after listening to the song twice. So I'm assuming you've picked an answer at this point. There's a couple that we can cross off right away. Number 1, I can cross off A, because A is not really an analogy. It's not comparing two things. And it's really not a song about meteorology. It's not a song about the weather and how cold or warm it is. The other one that I can cross off is C, how uneasy he was when his father was guiding him and how free he is now that he's on his own. It's clear that a lot of the language that he's using is saying, no, I miss my father. How will I find the way? I think it's his exact words. So that leaves us with B and D. So B says how his feelings of sadness and confusion will eventually end, just like the night will end. That is really what this analogy is. He's comparing his feelings to this day and night. He knows that the darkness will end. Number 2, how does the tone of this song change as it goes on? So the tone is kind of like the mood or how it makes you feel. Is it A, it starts off sad and then becomes happy? B, it starts off happy and then becomes sad? C, it stays sad the entire time? Or D, the author switches from a happy to a sad tone over throughout the song? So this one, pick the best answer in your mind. So this one is actually A. The tone starts off sad and then becomes happy. The exact line at which that happened is the first time that they go, "I know that the night must end," that whole part. So it's separating this like, "Father, I can't find the way. When will the dawning break?" to, "I know that this night must end." So it goes from kind of serious to positive very quickly. Number 3, feel, rise, shine, and here are all examples of A, action verbs, B, adverbs, C, adjectives, or D, conjunctions. So think in your mind which one is the best. So the answer here is A, action verbs. Feeling, shining, rising, hearing, those are all things that I actively do. You might not picture someone, like hearing across the room, but it is something that someone can actively do. I'm hearing you. The author uses a lot of figurative language in this song, but all of these have a common theme. They are all related to A, life and death, B, nature, night and day, C, water and fire, and D, silence and voices. So pick the answer in your mind. or on your sheet of paper. The answer here is B, nature, night, and day. He's saying, when will the dawning break? I know that this night must end. All of those things are related to night and day and nature. Number 5, what was the author's purpose in writing this song in this musical? What do you think he wants us to take away from this song? So this one's up for you to determine because it is, this one is up for you to determine because it is a personal writing answer. Number 6, in the song, the character is talking to his father because A, he feels confused and lost without his father to guide him and needs encouragement. B, he wants to report to his father that the sun will rise again. C, he is concerned that the night is particularly long. Or D, he feels proud of his accomplishments and wants to share his enthusiasm with his father. So we can actually cross off, think of the answer, circle it on your paper. So this one is actually pretty easy because B, C, and B and C and D are all literal. And he's not like literally actually getting a response from his father. He's looking to his father to guide him. Number 7, in which word does less mean the same thing as it does in sleepless? Now, I do want to remind you, if it comes before the word, it's a prefix. If it comes after the word, it's a suffix. No, that's, oh my gosh, I'm not thinking clearly. If it comes before the word, it's a prefix. If it comes after the word, it's a suffix. I don't know if that's what I said before, but that's the correct answer. So you see here for A, C, and D, they all come at the beginning of the word. And for B, it actually comes at the end of the word. Sleep less. Less is on the end of the word. Rest less. Less is on the end of the word. And so that's how I know that B has that same meaning. They're both the suffixes. Number 8, if the author were to add a stanza about why the character feels so lost and alone, it could be best placed before A, stanza 1, B after stanza 8, C after stanza 9, or D in place of stanza 8. So this should really go, even if you forget what a stanza is, which is a chunk of text, you should be able to figure out that this should go in the beginning of the song. And the reason it goes in the beginning of the song is, as we said, this song really has a strong tone change. And so we want to make sure that this part that's more sad is going with the earlier events in the song. That's really what it's asking. Does this part go in the beginning or at the end of the song? Thanks so much for tuning in. Oh, wait, I'm so sorry. I keep messing up on this video. So for Out of My Mind, we're reading chapters 22, 23, and 24. We're answering the questions, why is Melody brave? How does Melody feel about the competition? How has her ability to deal with negative comments of others changed over the course of the book? Describe the experience of being in the competition. Why is it so special for Melody? Our personal challenge for this week is, or that you could do over the weekend, is have someone help you for a set amount of time with something you don't normally need help with. Tying your shoes, opening containers, opening doors, writing things down. This is best done actually with a sibling, especially at home. What is this experience like for you, and what is it like for the other person? Besides the physical disadvantages Melody faces, what other disadvantages does she have in front of her? We're going to go over our answers from yesterday. So why do you think Clara is so mean to Melody? Answers for Melody will be different depending on your perspective and how you read this book. For me, it's probably because she doesn't understand what it's like to be Melody. What is Mr. Deming's response to Melody coming to take the test? Does he want Melody on the team? He's worried that she can't do it and will be disappointed. He encourages her not to join the team. Chapter 21. What is going to the bathroom like at school? Why is it so humiliating? Melody can use the toilet. It is humiliating because she needs help from an aide to go. Why does Melody constantly think earthquake report? Why is she so upset even after getting what she wants? Melody is upset because people make fun of her, and she says earthquake report to describe how she's getting more and more upset. For real this time, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you on Monday.